Hey everyone, SolarPrimal here. Pokemon Heart Gold with only one Sudowoodo got us barking up the wrong tree. So let's try something a bit more unique. Can I beat Pokemon FireRed with the original Eeveelutions? Some of you might be saying, wait, but how? Not to worry, I've got it all planned out. Now in terms of which Eeveelution to start with, each have their own strengths and weaknesses. Do we want a tanky special attacker? A speedy special attacker? Or a brute physical attacker? I'm going to be going with Jolteon because that is just what I want to do. Plus it should work out narratively. And since we don't have any evolution stones until Celadon City, we will start the game with Jolteon instead of Eevee. Otherwise this would just be an Eevee solo run for nearly half the game. And that's not very fun. Do you think I can match with these three pups? Comment down below your guesses if we can win or not. With how things are planned out, this should be a fun and relatively interesting challenge. Let's go over the rules. Only Eeveelutions can be used in battle. I can catch other Pokemon for HMs. No glitches or exploits, and no items in battle with the exception of held items. Poi poi, let's do this. And like I mentioned before, we will be swapping out Squirtle for Jolteon. That way our rival picks Bulbasaur. Out of all the starters, this will give us the most resistance overall. We nicknamed Jolteon Yellow, cause it's yellow. Yellow comes with a lonely nature, attack is up and defense is down. Meh, not really useful for this evolution, but oh well. As well as the Volt Absorb ability, might come in handy later? As for our first battle, this plays out similar to a typical starter battle, but I did get worried from the crit. But we won in the end. Now I'm going to need to Eevee train a little as the first gym will be tough since we don't know any effective moves for rock type Pokemon. We make a quick detour to take on our optional rival battle. I was curious to see how we would fare without an electric move, and it goes surprisingly well with Tackles able to do the trick as we outmuscle our rival's team. Now let's take on our first gym battle against Brock. I channel my inner 10-year-old and come up with a ridiculous strategy. I figured I might as well utilize as many tools on my belt as possible by first using Sand Attack 5 times on Geodude, all the while keeping track of how many defense curls are used in that time. Then I switch things up to put our opponent's defense down. It takes a bit since I have to overtake all the boosts from defense curl. The goal is to get at least 2 Tail Whip over the opponent's defense stat. That way, our tackles can deal a decent amount of damage despite not being very effective. It takes dad level patience, but we eventually execute the painstaking task of knocking out Geodude. But then we have to do the same with Onyx. I get things started with sand attacks again, but Onyx still manages to land the first Rock Tomb, lowering our speed. Surely after 2 sand attacks, Rock Tomb with an 80 base accuracy couldn't hit again, right? It hits, striking our first loss of the run. Well, I fully expected the first gym to give us trouble. Sure, starting with Vaporeon might have made this easier, but oh well. Choices have been made, and I gotta see it through. So after a few attempts, we get a run-in where I lay a total of 6 sand attacks on Onyx to help prevent getting hit by Rock Tomb, even though we still get hit a few times. Then onto the Tail Whip before, but we aren't clashing with Defense Curl. This actually stalls out Onyx's Rock Tomb, forcing it to use binds and tackles to try and hit on us. One bind does land, but we're able to lay enough tackles to knock out Onyx, ending the battle. With enough time and patience, even the sturdiest of rocks can be eroded away. That's our first gym badge, done and dusted. Feels good to be able to say that phrase again. Speaking of phrases, while passing Mount Moon, we pick up the Dome Fossil. I knew if I didn't mention what I picked, you'd all ask. In fact, ask anyways. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. With Thundershock in our pocket, we take on Cerulean City's gym leader, Misty. And we go from extremely difficult to extremely easy, with Yellow's Thundershock sweeping Misty's entire team. I'm drinking from a glass half full. That's our second gym badge, done and dusted. Feeling the hype, we take on our rival at Nugget Bridge. Thundershock continues to be the driving force as it's able to mostly destroy our rival's team here. Only real challenge is Bulbasaur. as Thundershock isn't very effective against Grass-type Pokemon. Tackle would be a better move to use here, but then we are put to sleep. We remain asleep as we take damage from Vine Whip. When we do wake up, Yellow gets a Sand Attack in. This allows us to hit with Tackle and cause Bulbasaur's next Sleep Powder to miss, and then the next Tackle knocks it out, ending the battle. And from one rival battle to another, we cruise onto the SS Anne. But there isn't much difference from our previous battle. It is mostly our rival's team gaining a few evolutions, making it so Thundershock can't one-hit KO anything not weak to electric moves. And knowing Ivysaur would go for Sleep Powder helps, as Sand Attack is able to pretty much block that strategy. Until we eventually knock out Ivysaur. While on the SS Anne, our HM user picked up TM10 Hidden Power. So let's take some time to figure out what we potentially have with Yellow. We deal regular damage on Drowsy, regular damage on Weedle, super effective on Onyx, and then not very effective on Oddish, making Yellow's Hidden Power Water. Hope you enjoyed that little show, because I somehow forgot to hit record. Not bad, but not great. It'll help against rock and ground types at least. Now let's take on Vermilion City Gym Leader Lieutenant Surge. So how does a electric versus electric battle go? Not too shabby actually, with Hidden Power able to knock out Surge's first two Pokemon with a single hit to each. Raichu on the other hand can take a hit, so we become paralyzed from Thunder Wave. Double Team is then used, slowing down our momentum, but we push through, gain Raichu down to red HP. Lieutenant Surge heals up Raichu with a Super Potion, so our Quick Attack doesn't get the knockout this time. And after a couple more turns, we eventually knock out Raichu, ending the battle. Zapping away our foe's spirit, that's our third gym badge done and dusted. Skipping the rival battle in Lavender Tower, for now, we head straight to Celadon City to obtain our second Eevee. And since we're in Celadon City, we can pop over to the department store to pick up a Firestone and a Waterstone. So who are we evolving our new Eevee into? Well, given I went with the nickname Red, you could gather it's Flareon. Red comes with a lax nature, defense is up and special defense is down, as well as the Flash Fire ability upon evolving. So we have a slight problem however. Flareon would be fantastic for the next gym, if he knew any fire moves. We miss out on Ember at level 16, Fire Spin at level 36 isn't what we were looking for, and we won't see Flamethrower until level 52, unless we farm up 4,000 coins for the game corner. Also, we don't have access to the movie learner until way later in the game. Now we did pick up another TM10 Hidden Power, so let's see what we got for Red. We deal regular damage to Drowsy once more, super effective damage on Weedle, and regular damage on Growlithe, making our Hidden Power Flying. Interesting, not exactly what I was looking for, but this might hold as a substitute for fire moves at the moment. Only one way to find out. Let's take on this ruling city gym leader, Erica. Red's Hidden Power deals about half of Victory Bell's HP as we become paralyzed by Stun Spore. So Red takes an acid before knocking out Victory Bell. Tangela sets up Ingrain, but our Hidden Power crits to knock it out in one shot. Now against Vileplume, Hidden Power doesn't quite impact as well as I was hoping. Red gets coated in acid as we get a couple hits of Hidden Power in around the paralysis, but getting Vileplume to red HP causes Erica to use a Hyper Potion. So then the next acid knocks out Red. I wasn't too worried as we still have Yellow ready to go. But with the paralysis and Giga Drain, as well as almost none of our moves being very effective, Vileplume eventually knocks us out. Yep, we got outplayed by that one. Now I haven't bothered with any held items up until this point since we were handling battles rather well. So let's try again equipping a Cherry Berry to help with the paralysis. This helps us out a ton, allowing us to sweep through Victory Bell and Tangela, leaving us better prepared for Vileplume, which plays out a bit better, but we still get paralyzed and Erica healing with Hyper Potion. Though this time Red goes for Sand Attack upon the heal. This doesn't prevent Acid from hitting twice, however, but on the third try Vileplume misses. Yay. Only for Red to be paralyzed this turn. Yep. Another acid later and we are still paralyzed. So I take aim with Quick Attack for the knockout, ending the battle. Our team has only started to bud. That's our 4th gym badge, done and dusted. So we dial back to take on our rival at the Lavender Tower. Because if we try this later, it would just be unfair. For him. We are already overleveled at this point, so it doesn't take very long to dispatch Gary's team. Also, missed opportunity by not naming our rival green at the beginning. Unfortunate. Now, blasting through Team Rocket, we take on their boss, Giovanni. Yellow's hidden power is enough to knock out both Onyx and Rhyhorn in one shot. Kangaskhan, however, doesn't go down so easy. But it doesn't take long for it to join the rest of the knockout party, ending the battle. Not wasting any time, we jump ahead to our next rival battle at Silphco. It shows that I skipped many Team Rocket grunts on the way here. So much so that Pidgeot takes 2 Thunder Shocks while getting hits in with Quick Attack before going down. Even Gyarados can survive the first strike of Thunder Shock, allowing it to bite Yellow. Luckily, our Quick Attack can finish the job. But Hidden Power doesn't fall short and knocks out Growlithe down in one shot. Alakazam sets up Future Sight before taking a ton of damage from Red's bite. And then it goes for Future Sight again, for some reason, as the following bite knocks it out. Now, I wasn't expecting Red's Hidden Power to do much in ways of damage, but we do get a hit in before Red falls asleep. This is of course when Future Sight triggers, but it missed. Red remains asleep for a couple turns, taking Razor Leaf. Waking up next turn to deal more damage with Hidden Power, while Venusaur lowers our evasiveness with Sweet Sense. And then a 3rd Hidden Power knocks out Venusaur, ending the battle. Next is our 2nd battle against Team Rocket's boss, Giovanni. The additional Nidorino does prove to spice up the battle a little, since it takes a bit more effort to knock it out. Red also becomes poisoned due to this exchange, but also levels up to 41. Rhyhorn is still one-shot by Hidden Power again. Kangaskhan is just as tough as before to bring down. Nidoqueen is where we are getting outmuscled as Yellow is knocked out by Double Kick. And an injured Red tries to save the battle, but then gets knocked out by the poison. Yeah, that's a thing. Trying again, we attempt to make use of Red to combat Kangaskhan by spamming Sand Attack to soften her up before the poison eventually knocks down Red. This gives Yellow a head start and after a few turns, knock out Kangaskhan. Now things sort of play out the same way against Nidoqueen, but we stay focused and use our Hidden Power to knock out Giovanni's last Pokemon, ending the battle. So with Team Rocket out of the way, we now take on Saffron City's gym leader, Sabrina. Can Bite carry us to victory? For the most part, yes. Kadabra as well as Mr. Mime take a couple bites to knock out. Venomoth gets a slight advantage on Red, being hit by Future Sight upon arrival, but a couple Hidden Powers are enough to knock it down. Alakazam wisely sets up Calm Mind, but then Bite crits, knocking it out in one shot, ending the battle. I see a bright future ahead for our team. That's our 5th gym badge, done and dusted. Let's keep the momentum going and take on Future City's gym leader, Koga. Thundershock falls a bit short to knock out Coughing. This causes us to hit with Thundershock 2 more times to knock out Koga's first Pokemon. Red doesn't have much to deal with Muck, but we try Hidden Power, dealing very little damage. Muck then starts the first of many minimizes. So Red goes for Sand Attack, but our problems further escalate with Muck using Acid Armor. A few minimizes and Sand Attacks later causes both sides to hit. Sometimes. To make matters even worse, Muck uses Toxic. Ah yes, good old Toxic stall again. We swap in Yellow in the hopes that he could try and tip the skills back in our favor. But when we finally land a Thundershock, Muck survives with a pixel of HP, and then knocks out Yellow with Sludge. So unfortunately, Red is left with a healed up Muck to try and outlast. But we can't get a hit in due to all the minimizes used, until eventually the strong poison from Toxic knocks us out. I'm seeing that Thundershock isn't making the cut anymore, so I think it's time for an upgrade. We don't have enough coins yet for Thunderbolt, so we teach Yellow the Shockwave we got from Lieutenant Surge. Yeah, time for a callback. It'll at least help with Muck's minimizes. So this time, we use Shockwave on Muck to focus fire him down, but we land on a pixel of HP once more, as well as Yellow taking damage from Sludge becoming poisoned from it. Koga heals Muck back to full, We keep on with the shockwaves, but then the poison still knocks us out. And with acid armor up, Red's attacks lose their impact. Toxic is used, and
I think we know where this is about to go.
Another hyper potion from Koga all but spells our defeat on this attempt.
Curse you, toxic stall!
Seeing as we need something to help Red take on Muck, we teach him TM28 Dig. We also give Yellow a Peachy Berry in hopes of ridding any poison effects if they occur. So on this attempt, Knockout of Coffee levels up Yellow to 44, but our biggest concern is Muck. Red goes for Dig right away as Muck uses Minimize. This causes our first Dig to miss. Trying again, this time hitting with massive damage as Muck equips itself with acid armor. As per the usual, Koga heals Muck back up. Dig is used again, only dealing about 1/4 of damage to Muck's HP. Oof, that acid armor. And the minimizes keep piling on. We keep going with Dig, hoping to be lucky enough to hit. This time we do. But then Muck uses Toxic. The perfect recipe for a toxic stall. And with Koga healing Muck again, our time is short. First Dig, missed. Second Dig, missed. Then Sludge knocks out Red. Damn. So it's up to Yellow. And with shockwaves that never miss, we spam attack Muck until he is knocked out. Coffee is one shot by Shockwave. Shockwave gets Weezing to under half as it uses Toxic. Luckily, the Peachy Berry does its job and cures the poison. So the next Shockwave knocks out Weezing, ending the battle. Sorry to stall this victory. That's our 6th gym badge, done and dusted. Now I think it's time we add our 3rd member to the team. But how do I obtain a 3rd Eevee in the game? Well, honestly, there isn't any legitimate way to do this until way later in the game. Like, after the Pokemon League. There's a reason why I haven't done this challenge in so long. So, with the assistance of cheat codes I found online, we encounter an Eevee in the wild. But we don't have any Pokeballs. One sec. Now with Pokeballs in hand, we try this again. And as you can see, these encounters are random. The previous Eevee was a female at level 25. This one is a male at level 28. Please note, this will be the first and hopefully only time I ever use cheat codes for a challenge. I felt it was necessary this time to achieve that sweet Hall of Fame screen. We nickname Eevee Blue, completing our set. Blue comes with a rash nature, and once evolving, Blue gains the water absorb ability. So let's try our new water gun on Cinnabar Island's gym leader, Blaine. And when I say water gun, I mean surf. Blue's debut was worth the wait as he surfs his way to victory, decimating Blaine's entire team. Looks like we doused those flames. That's our 7th gym badge, done and dusted. And then, after a brief detour, we take on Viridian City gym leader, Giovanni. Blue's win streak continues as Surf drowns Giovanni's ground-type Pokemon. Vaporeon is just on a whole other level. Honestly, I've used Vaporeon for 2 other challenges on this channel, and it has never disappointed me. Just a flawless victory. That's our 8th and final gym badge, done and dusted. Now for a warm-up battle against our rival right before the Pokemon League. With the Triforce of Eeveelutions assembled, this battle doesn't pose too much of a challenge for us, as we have plenty of type coverage now. I even taught Red Flamethrower, finally giving us a proper fire move. Yellow is still rocking Shockwave, so I'm curious to see if we can complete this run with that. But yeah, this will probably be the easiest battle of the run so far. Enjoy it while it lasts. Arriving at the Pokemon League, here are our stats. Not quite where I wanted them, but hopefully this will be enough. Yellow could use a Thunderbolt upgrade, but we'll see how far Shockwave gets us. Leave your final guesses if we can win or not. I suspect the first half of the Elite Four will be simple. The rest, however, might be tough. Let's do this. First up is Elite Four Lorelei. Dugong takes 2 Shockwaves, surviving the first to set up Hail and then goes down to the second. Cloyster uses Protect, preventing our first and second Shockwaves. A hail has done more damage to us so far. And then the next shockwave knocks out Cloyster. Slowbro survives the first shockwave and uses Amnesia. No matter, as the following shockwave knocks it out. Lapras is hit by yet another shockwave, going down to half as it uses Body Slam. For an added measure, Yellow uses Thunder Wave to slow down Lapras. Knowing Shockwave won't be able to finish off Lapras completely, we use Double Kick, only for the first hit to crits, resulting in Lapras reaching red HP. Yellow is hit by Surf, but luckily, Lapras eats a Citrus Berry. So our next Shockwave knocks out Lapras, and Yellow levels up to 55. Jinx uses Lovely Kiss. Ah yes, Old Faithful. Red takes an Ice Punch and wakes up right away using Flamethrower, nearly knocking out Jinx. Lorelei heals up Jinx, taking a Flamethrower in the process. And then we do this dance again. But next turn sees the return of Lovely Kiss. Great. Jinx also uses Attract, further complicating things. Red takes 2 Ice Punches this time before waking up, but then is immobilized by Love. And, you guessed it, Lovely Kiss is used again. Sadly, Red doesn't wake up in time before getting knocked out by a crit Ice Punch. Lovely Kiss is used on Blue, as well as Attract, so that's the strat. I hate it, and I love it. Just like how people feel about Jinx in general. Thankfully, Ice Punch is not very effective on Blue, so eventually Blue wakes up, pushes past the power of Love to knock out Jinx with Bite, ending the battle. Next up is Elite Four Bruno. I make the mistake of sending Red out to use Dig where I could have used Blue's Surf in the first place. Swapping out to Blue, who takes an Earthquake but finishes off Onyx with Surf on the next turn. Red is sent out again and takes a Sky Uppercut to the face. Yeah. Blue then shows up to clean up after Red. Again, things aren't looking too good for us. Blue dodges Mega Kick to land Surf on Hitmonlee, but the next Brick Break knocks out Blue. The rest of this battle is in disarray with Shockwave not able to finish off Hitmonlee as Yellow takes a Mega Kick. Bruno heals Hitmonlee, who is hit by Shockwave afterwards. Bruno is somehow Psychic type and predicts my next move by swapping in his second Onyx as we use Thunder Wave to combat Hitmonlee's speed. Seriously. Luckily, Yellow's Hidden Power has the right kick to knock out Onyx in one shot. Yellow uses Thunder Wave on Machamp before getting knocked out by a Cross Chop. Didn't think this was going to be the battle that would give us trouble. Let's learn from our mistakes and send out Blue first next time. Sure enough, that gives us a way better start to this battle. Red uses Hidden Power before taking Rock Tomb, lowering our speed. We then finish off Hitmonchan with Return. Machamp hits with a devastating Cross Chop before Red hits with Return. The next Cross Chop crits, though it didn't need to, and knocks out Red. Yellow hits with Shockwave, getting Machamp to under half as it uses Scary Face and then eats the Citrus Berry. We set up Thunder Wave as another Scary Face is used, but we're still faster as Yellow hits with Shockwave first. Predictably, Bruno heals up Machamp with Full Restore, so we get a Thunder Wave in for good measure. Shockwave does a decent amount of damage as Machamp uses a turn to use Bulk Up. Yellow uses Hidden Power to see if it'll make a difference in damage, but then we're hit with Cross Chop, knocking us out in one shot. Thankfully, Blue's Surf is enough to knock out Machamp in return. Hitmonlee lands Mega Kick on Blue, who responds with Surf. Blue survives the next Mega Kick to finish off Hitmonlee with Surf. And then, Bruno's second Onyx is knocked out in one shot, you guessed it, by Surf, leveling up to 58, ending the battle. That was a close one. A little too close. Third is Elite Four Agatha. Gengar sets up Double Team, but despite that, we land our first bite. Blue takes a Shadow Punch before landing another bite, knocking out Gengar. Shockwave nearly knocks out Golbat one shot, but it survives and hits with Poison Fang. Agatha heals Golbat back up to full as we use Thunder Wave. But then the next Shockwave crits, knocking out Golbat. I keep Yellow in for a turn to absorb Arbok's Intimidate ability. This causes Red to take 2 Sludge Bombs before going down for Dig. But my strategy doesn't pay off as Arbok survives to knock out Red with a crit Sludge Bomb. Yellow then finishes up our Brock with a Shockwave. The second Gengar uses Hypnosis on Blue, causing us to get hit by Sludge Bomb. But Blue wakes up right away to use Bite, causing Gengar to eat its Citrus Berry. Blue takes another Sludge Bomb before finishing off Gengar with Bite. Haunter then tries for Hypnosis, but missed. Then takes a Bite, getting knocked out in one shot, ending the battle. Alright. Finally, Elite Four lances up. Gyarados is one shot by Shockwave, and Yellow levels up to 59. Blue then one-shots all of Lance's Dragon-type Pokemon using Ice Beam, also leveling up to 59. Lastly, Aerodactyl uses Wing Attack, survives Ice Beam, gets healed back up, only to go down in one shot to Surf, ending the battle. That is some textbook Vaporeon action there. Now it is time for our final rival battle. Shockwave nearly knocks out Pidgeot in one shot, but lives and hits with Sand Attack, which makes me laugh since Shockwave can't miss. So the next Shockwave knocks out Pidgeot. Rhydon is one shot by Surf. Venusaur uses Growth before taking Flamethrower and eating a Citrus Berry. Venusaur is switched out for Gyarados, who intimidates Red before taking a Flamethrower. Clever. Red then makes the noble sacrifice by taking the full force of Hydro Pump. But survives? Okay. Take a weekend return, I guess. And then Thrash knocks out Red. Yellow is sent out to finish off Gyarados with Shockwave. Alakazam hits with Psychic before getting bitten by Blue. This repeats next turn with Blue becoming the victor. Venusaur is sent out and readies up a Solar Beam. But then Ice Beam crits to knock it out, leveling Blue to 60. But then Arcanine ends Blue's parade by using Extreme Speed to knock it out. Yellow uses Hidden Power, dealing decent damage as Arcanine hits with Flamethrower. This turn repeats itself as both of our Pokemon go into red HP. Our rival, of course, full restore, so we use Thunder Wave. This paralyzes Arcanine next turn, allowing us to get a hit of Hidden Power in. But then Extreme Speed hits to knock us out. Ooh, we were so close. So after a lot of training, we return with Yellow knowing Thunderbolt. This time, Thunderbolt is able to one-shot Pidgeot. Rhydon is still one-shot by Surf, helps it crits too. Again, Venusaur uses Growth and it is hit by Flamethrower. But this time, it gets burned. Then eats a Citrus Berry. Venusaur is switched out like before, but we swap in Yellow, who takes a Hydro Pump way better. Thunderbolt then knocks out Gyarados. Being a bit higher leveled helps dispatch Alakazam better. As Venusaur is sent out, the burn brings it to the threshold where the AI would use a full restore next turn. So Red uses Return. Venusaur then starts up a Sunny Day, which would allow Solar Beam to hit in one turn, if it didn't also power up Fire-type moves, causing our Flamethrower to knock out Venusaur. Arcanine uses Flamethrower on Red, but it fails due to our Flash Fire ability. Finally, our abilities have come in handy this entire challenge. With Red underground, Arcanine misses Extreme Speed and takes a bit of damage from Dig. Red takes a hit from Extreme Speed before going back underground. This sequence repeats for a few more turns as we nearly knock out Arcanine. But Arcanine is healed back to full as Red hits with Return. Out of Extreme Speed, Arcanine uses Bite as we continue to use Return. Another Bite knocks out Red. But Arcanine is plenty softened up for Blue. However, Bite flinches Blue this turn, allowing Arcanine to get another Bite, getting Blue to 5 HP. So we hit with a final Surf, knocking out Arcanine, ending the battle, crowning us the new champion. Ah, look at that Hall of Fame screen. But we did it! We beat Pokemon FireRed with the original 3 Eeveelutions. I never thought I'd see the day. I had a lot of fun with this one. I imagine this one would have been a dream scenario for a 10-year-old me. Same with having all 3 starters. Anyways, leave your suggestions for future challenges I could do. I'd love to see what you folks in the comments come up with. They've been a huge motivator for me. But for our next challenge, can I beat Pokemon Emerald with only baby Pokemon? Be sure to follow me on Twitter for updates, like the video if you liked it, subscribe for more, and ring the bell to be notified whenever a new video goes up. So until then you guys, this is SolarPrimal signing out, and bye for now.